night. Matt Mulholland. It is right now 6:20, and I'm heading into Tampa Bay. I am approximately, let's see here, 20 minutes from Tampa, 21 miles from my destination. Has moved and turned itself so that we are probably going to get hit directly by that hurricane, which is great. Katie McCormick's there, along with Brianna Sachs from the Washington Post. We got Doug Quinn from the APA there. Everything that's going on is getting a little crazy. I wanted to show you guys what the conditions were like on the way in. Again, I'm about 20 miles from Tampa Bay right now, heading into it. Hitting a lot of wind. Probably hear a lot of rain. I'm going to turn my camera around for you. Bam. This is our current condition. It's not terrible right now. Every now and then I get hit by a big gust of wind and it pushes my van one way. Kind of like this there. It's not extremely hairy yet. I've definitely been through worse. But it's really loud. And it's definitely a little bit hard to pay attention to anything other than what I'm looking at. One of the hardest things to do when you're driving through a hurricane is watch out for the puddles. If I hit a big puddle on one side, then my vehicle is going to slow down so fast on that one side that it's really difficult to stay moving straight. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm having a hard time hearing myself at this point. You can see the rain bands going across the street, being pushed by a lot of wind. I would estimate the wind speed based on the way the trees look, probably be in the 40 mile per hour range, maybe 50. It's not extreme just yet. But I'm 20 miles out of Tampa. By the time I get in there, it'll probably be in the 75 mile per hour wind speed range. And then we're going to wait it out. Hurricane made a big turn. It's downgraded, but it's moving a lot faster too. So it's going to hit us a little bit earlier than what was expected. So I'm going to be getting in there a little later than I wanted to. How you doing, Pressure Bucket Candy? Great name. Thank you, I will be safe. Everybody's watching, if you can let me know if you can hear me okay, that would be great. Whew. As long as I watch out for the puddles on the way in, I can actually be fairly safe driving right now. Right now it feels like I'm driving through a severe thunderstorm. That's about the worst condition that I've seen so far. I'll get hit by a gust of wind. The gust of wind might be 60 to 75 miles per hour. It'll push my vehicle into another lane. But that's not the worst thing in the world. I've only hydroplaned a few times. I know how to deal with that. So as I get into Tampa, about 20 more miles, about 20 more minutes, we'll start to see a little bit more. So I'm going to stay live from here until I get to Tampa, and I'm going to have to cut it off when I get all the cameras and equipment ready. We're going to be sitting in the hurricane, letting the eye come to us. Goal is to set cameras up all over to show what hurricane winds will do. There's a lot of misinformation out there on what hurricane winds will do. So we want to be able to capture as much of that as possible to help with insurance claim processing in the future. This show is sponsored by many different organizations that have made this possible. Those organizations are the American Policyholder Association, World's Greatest Roofer, Listen to This Full, Morelli AI, Building Experts Institute, Claims Titan, Book Agency. There's probably a few more I'm missing. What is going on here? So we're driving towards Tampa right now. I'm about 20 miles outside of Tampa at the moment. I'm heading towards the bay. This is actually pretty light. I've had some gusts that have hit me from the side that felt like they were about 60, pushed me into a separate lane, and it just died down a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to move at the moment. We're going to be boarded up on the 4th floor of a high-rise on Tampa Bay. We're going to be installing camera equipment throughout the city, going live during the storm. You'll see us live mostly on the World's Greatest Roofers social media pages. You can also catch a lot of it here. I should be in Tampa in approximately 20 minutes. By the time I get there, I expect it's going to be extremely hard for you to hear me. I'll be pushed around quite a bit in the vehicle. We're doing whatever we can to stay safe. This will be the 7th hurricane that we've gone into. Every single time we've gone into them, we've set up cameras in strategic locations, try to capture evidence that wind does interesting things that insurance companies believe it doesn't do. So we want to be able to prove with videographic evidence that this kind of stuff happens. That's why I do this. Get whitewashed. This really isn't as bad as it could be. Definitely seen a lot worse. Anybody else out there in the hurricane at the moment? Let us know in the comments. I'll let you know if I start to feel anything that makes me feel unsafe while driving, but right now, it's pretty smooth sailing. I'm still roughly, let's see here, 15 minutes out. Another 12 miles and I'll be in Tampa Bay. This is I-4 going into Tampa. Whenever you're driving in a hurricane like this, it's a good idea to stay in the middle of the road. There are puddles that end up on the side. Sometimes in the middle as well, but less frequently in the middle. If you hit a puddle with one of your wheels and not all of them, that side of your vehicle will slow down abruptly and will cause you to spin. A lot of vehicles end up in a ditch because they hit a puddle. So I like to drive in the middle of the road. If there's a center lane, I'll stay in the center lane. It's the safest way to drive. There's no one else on the roads right now, so it's okay. A little bit of debris on the road. Going to Tampa. All right, so far it's not looking that bad. It was actually worse a few minutes ago. I think I got hit with a rain band a few minutes ago when I first went live. If you guys want to backtrack to when it first started, you'll see it a little bit stronger. But as of right now, it's not too bad. This is the first person I've seen on the road for a while. All right, get myself back into a center lane so I can avoid as many puddles as possible. Trying to get into Tampa as quickly as I can. The hurricane's coming a lot faster than we expected. It's going to make landfall a lot sooner than expected. I've got to get this vehicle into the parking garage before the winds get too strong. Driving a giant van that's a big wind vane. It'll be pushed over easily if I'm not careful. So, if I've got the side of my vehicle to the wind, I've got to be extra careful. Based on the way the trees are pushing, the wind seems to be behind me, which is very helpful. Not so bad. You guys need to stay safe during the hurricane as much as you can. If you find yourself out and about and you can't get back to your house, safest location to be during a hurricane, other than in your home, is a parking garage. Most storm chasers end up in a parking garage as the hurricane comes through. They're very strong structures, all concrete. Air is able to pass through them so they don't get pushed over. And you got plenty of good viewing space outside for camera work. That's when a storm chasers do it. It's really kind of funny when it happens. A lot of storm chasers will line up outside of a parking garage. And the parking attendant won't allow you in. That Intersnap Tampa is exactly where the eye's heading right now, and that's where I'm going. We've got a high-rise in Tampa Bay, right on the bay, on the northeast corner of the bay. We've got ourselves on the 4th floor. We're going to set up cameras to watch the storm surge come in. We're going to set up cameras in other areas across the city as well, quickly, before the storm comes in. And then we'll get in and secure ourselves inside that high-rise. We anticipate the storm surge will be out there for a little while, probably recede back again after the storm passes over the course of a couple of hours. Gonna get crazy. Gonna get crazy. Once we set up all those cameras, some of the cameras are going to set up are going to be pointing to specific types of structures. There are engineering firms and insurance companies employ that say that wind doesn't do certain things that we have visually seen it do. So we're going to try to get the cameras to capture those things so that we can help policyholders with insurance claims. We want to be able to say that that was caused by wind when they say that that isn't possible. So if we can capture that kind of thing on camera, we can help people quite a bit. That's the goal. That's why I'm out here. This really isn't that bad right now. But I got to hike there as quick as I can. I've got a call coming in. I don't know what's going to happen if I take it. Let's see what happens. Any of that, I'm curious. All right. Where am I at here? I got to take exit 2. It's this one. Exit 2. Taking me on a toll road. A lot of times during evacuation routes, the toll roads don't charge. Especially when there's a state of emergencies to allow all the lanes to be utilized. So I don't even think it's going to charge me anything going on this. Port of Tampa. I better slow down. The rain has let up a little bit. I can actually hear myself think again, which is good. Almost there. I'm about, looks like, 3 miles away from my destination. Whoop, I want exit. I don't know if I'm supposed to go this way. Nope, I'm going this way. All right. Okay, we're going to get ourselves into Tampa Bay area. Right on the northeast corner of the bay is where our high-rise is that we've got a 4th floor accommodations in. It is a hurricane-certified location. I think I can turn my wipers off for a second. Which means that the windows are extra strong. One of the things that you need to worry about is with all that additional wind pressure is basically windows breaking in. I'm really surprised I'm not feeling a lot of wind right now. Must be in between the rain bands. There will be more later, but we're putting ourselves right into the high. It's coming in a little bit faster. We're expecting the high to hit around 9 p.m. again. So it's no longer a 4 a.m. landfall, it's a 9 p.m. landfall. It's not going to be as strong as it was, luckily. That means there's going to be a lot less damage occurring. But the high wall is still no joke. It is no joke. Or where am I going? Okay. Make this turn here. I honestly don't know what to do. Bar's not down. I don't see any lights coming. We're going for it. That's weird. Huh. That's a new one for me. All right. Going over here. Bringing this left. Things aren't so bad just yet. Over the course of the next few hours, it's going to start getting really bad. I've driven in 5 different hurricanes now. I've been to 7. I've driven in 5. This feels like a typical thunderstorm at the moment. The winds aren't that strong. The rain isn't that bad. Right now, it's actually pretty easy to drive. I'm going to take exit 7, downtown west. Current condition in Tampa really isn't that bad. We're in between rain bands at the moment, which is great. As soon as I get to the destination, I can end up cutting this live off, and we're going to go live again after we get all the camera equipment set up. So there's going to be a lull, but we're going to be live. ABC is going to have us go live during the hurricane as well. So you'll see all the different actions going on then. As of right now, it doesn't seem that bad, but once that eye wall hits, all bets are off. Exit 7. All the high rises still have lights on. That's good. What is that? Looking street garage. That would have been a good place to set up. Parking garages are a great place to set up when you can. Okay, almost there. And that is a cop wondering what I'm doing. No, run from the cops. All right, Hyatt House. Okay, there it is. Now I gotta get a parking garage. Myself squared away. There's one of the news channels and their big satellite truck. I can't find a parking garage to set myself up in. Actually, I'm going to have to make some calls to get into the parking garage. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go here. I think conditions aren't so bad right now. I'm going to get myself set up in that parking garage, get my camera equipment out, and start posting it in different places across the city. And then we'll go live again probably in another hour or so, and you'll start to see what things look like then. So I'll see you guys in about an hour.